You guys, I want to show you how you can finesse influencers so hard. I get screenshots and like, I guess you could call it testimonials or whatever, from people saying like, dude, I negotiated and took someone from like 120 bucks to 35, like crazy, crazy stuff. You can really mess with these influencers, and in this video, we're gonna be diving in depth on how to negotiate with them effectively. Of course though, I'm still wearing this hat, still need to get a haircut. Never seem to make that a priority. I'm spending too much time working, but this video is gonna be lit. I know it's kind of requested, but it's something that builds off of a lot of topics that we've already talked about, and it's gonna help you guys a lot, I guarantee it. But let's jump inside of my computer and I'm gonna outline a few cool things for you. Oh, before we do that, if you haven't already, be sure to join the family and hit that nice looking subscribe button down below and drop a like on the video if you enjoy. If you don't get value, if you don't like the video, if you don't like me, give it a dislike so I know. Leave a negative comment, that stuff's funny to me. So now let's jump in. Here's the thing, there's not like some exact way to negotiate. Like sure, you can study sales tactics. There's not like, I guess, one thing that everybody uses for Shopify. I'm simply gonna be explaining how I do it because it works, and I've helped other people do it and it works for them. So that's why I'm pretty confident in this material. When it comes to negotiating, I'm gonna kind of go based off examples a lot in this video. I love using this example. I don't know if I've talked about it, but I'm gonna dive fully in depth. Let's say an influencer is gonna charge you this 30 bucks, right? That's what they say their price is for whatever the time may be, 30 bucks. I'm gonna come in and say 15 is what we normally pay. So what you've done there is you built kind of like a social status or whatever. 15 is the normal, right? So now they think they're overpriced, which is fine. They can have their own pricing. But if you say 15 is what you typically pay for a page of like that size, that niche, whatever, they're like, oh, okay. But what I'm gonna do, I'm not just gonna offer them 15 because the odds of them saying yes is very low. So what I'll do is I'll come back and say, we can do 25 bucks, but we need a story post, link in bio, and regular post. So this initial 30 bucks might have just been for a regular post with the link. But if you come in, now you say 15, so you really severely undercut them, and then you come up and say, but for your page, you know, we can do 25, which is only 5 bucks less than what they had originally offered, but you get all three. If you guys follow me and you've heard me talk about influencers, you know that I always do a regular post, link in bio, and a story post. It is so effective. Like, it gives you by far the best odds of actually having something that works. And if you think about the actual numbers behind it too, let's say a post gets 1,000 likes and 3,000 people see it. Okay, so typically now a story would get about 5,000 to 8,000 views, but that 5,000 to 8,000 people on the story might be completely different than the actual post. There's not gonna be much overlap. So it's not like you're still reaching the same people on both the post and the story. Yeah, some of them will see it, but the way Instagram's set up, the actual post is not gonna go to the top of everyone's engagement feed, whereas the story post will for a lot of people. So it's just a matter of like the algorithm and how it works, but you're really gonna reach a lot more people by doing that. And story posts are still so new. I mean, Instagram came out with this, what? I'd say maybe 4, 5, 6 months ago, something like that. So it's still a very new thing, and influencers don't exactly know how to price their story posts very well. So if you're just coming in slightly undercutting them, just slightly undercutting their price, and I'll show you in a second how to validate that, but you throw in a story post on top of that, they're really not gonna know the value of that. They're gonna be, oh yeah, story post, whatever, sure, might as well. Because at the end of the day, these influencers wanna make money. I'm gonna write that down. They want to make money. That's why they have the page, that's why they started it. And a lot of these people with the page, think about this too. Unless it's a personal brand so you can kind of see who it is, which is typically gonna be like someone of age, like an adult. A lot of these pages, you know, meme pages and whatnot, and certain specific influencer pages in a niche are owned by kids. So they might say 120 bucks, but in reality, they'd still do it for 10 if that's all you were offering. So you really have to negotiate hard and just, which we'll talk about in a second, like act as if you have other options, okay? So as for what I'm actually saying to them, I'm not gonna go through the entire script, but here's the general gist of it. I'm gonna say, you know, I'm just gonna write out long-term relationship plus experience. So here's what you have to do. Oh, I'm spelling everything wrong. As always, I'm so bad at spelling. But okay, so with experience, this is what you wanna position it as. You're DMing an influencer, right? First of all, this is what I would say for my first actual, like the first message you're saying, right? You have to get their attention over DM. A lot of them aren't gonna respond. I'll go through, I'll pick an emoji here. Do like the fire emoji or something. I'm actually gonna copy paste this too. And I'm gonna say business related in all capitals. Put a fire emoji on each. Boom, gets their attention. Odds are they get a lot of DMs. They probably don't go through and respond to them, but they look, they can quickly scroll through their DMs and just see, and that will catch their eye. Now, I'm not gonna write out the script like I said, but here's a couple main points I'm gonna say. With experience, I'll say something along the lines of, we have multiple Shopify stores and we're just looking to build another list of influencers that we're working with long term, okay, like we said, long term, and that way you're positioning it as if you already have a ton of stores, you know what you're doing, you're gonna get results, because in their minds, like what I said about them being able to validate giving you a lower price, if they're gonna get continuous shout outs, right? So if you're making money, you're obviously going to keep paying them for it, maybe once a week, twice a week, whatever the case may be. And influencers want to make money. Again, that's like pretty much for 99% of them, that's their only goal. I know that's why I started my influencer page. People are like, oh, you gotta have a passion around it. Nope, I did it just for money and it worked. So they can validate a lower price because they think, whether it's true or not, that you're gonna continually be paying them, a long term. They want that consistency, so they'll do it. They'll give you a $5 off. And just know, this can be applied to like any page of any size, like any type of budget. You can talk them down from 500 to 300, whatever the case may be. It's not exactly a certain number, it's just a relative scale. But look, there's always room for negotiation. Always. I don't care what someone says. Look, why am I spelling everything wrong? Honestly, don't care. But there's always room for negotiation. It's so huge. Like, whatever they say, I guarantee you it's not just a set price. There's room for testing, especially if you say the right things. And at the end of the day, you want to be testing influencers and getting them as cheap as possible, because once you find the one that works, first of all, now you have it for cheaper, so you're making a higher margin, but now they're gonna be getting that long-term business like we just talked about. So they're gonna be making money, and overall, you can probably still get it at a cheaper discount if you're continuously doing it. But at the same time too, if you're running them for cheaper in the beginning, you have less of a risk. I don't know what your risk tolerance is. Mine's like 30 to 40 bucks for an influencer. Unless I've actually tested smaller pages in that niche, I'm not really willing to go and spend 100 bucks, 200 bucks, whatever, like a lot of people are. That's fine. If you have the budget and that's your risk tolerance, go right ahead, but that's not for me. So I like to start small and kind of test small and try and, I guess I don't want to lose or potentially lose a lot of money on the front, right? I like to test small, see what works, and just build off that. I do the same exact thing for Facebook. That's just how I like to structure things, but negotiate with influencers. I have screenshots. I have people who are telling me that this one guy said he talked someone down from 95 to 35. That's insane. Like, that is so awesome. Now he's gonna, let's say that would only take a couple of sales to break even. So now it's a much lower risk on his end. The potential of him actually doing well goes up. Look, there's a lot of different things that go into influencer marketing. Knowing what to say, how to DM them, even little things like this where that's what I say. And I do that for the subject line as well, but that's what I say for the first thing, so that's what they'll actually see. Catch their attention. Because of course, it is kind of hard to get in touch with these people. A lot of them won't respond. We talked about that in the picking influencer pages video. When it comes to negotiating, you just have to finesse them. That's the word of the century, finesse. You have to constantly be testing, like trying to, negotiate, get it lower, get it a little bit, because then you're just lowering your risk. That's what I love saying. And of course, then you have the potential to make more money. It's just, why would you not negotiate? Negotiating with influencers, you're gonna learn a lot from experience. You might not get the best deal right off the bat, but once you're constantly doing it, talking to influencers, trying your best to negotiate and get a better price, you're gonna kind of learn how they think, how they do things, and what incentivizes them to go lower. You could even send them free product as well. Obviously, by doing that, there's no exact way to guarantee that they're gonna give you the shout out or whatever it may be. I very rarely do that, but let's say you're gonna pay them 25 bucks, right? 25 bucks for an actual shout out. Well, you might send them a shirt that only costs you $6. Yeah, it might take a month to get there, but now you have a shout out for exponentially cheaper. Like, it is ridiculously cheaper, only $6. So if you start sending stuff out, if that's what you want to do, I don't do it too often. I have a little bit, but that's, again, an effective way. If you don't have much of a budget, just give them a free product. And a lot of people will request a product. Typically, if it's like a personal brand versus just an influencer page, they'll want the product because then they can take a picture of them wearing it, their animal, their whatever the page is built around. Like, let's say they have a cat page, they can take a picture or a video of their cat playing with whatever the toy is, like something like that. So it's kind of up to you on how you want to position that, but always negotiate. There's always room for it. You have to be trying your best to get them lower. You guys, it's quite simple. There are a lot of things that go into it, but it's really going to come from experience. That's what a lot of this comes down. I just talked about a ton of the main points. I hope that helped and gave you guys some value on exactly how to approach this subject of negotiating, because you don't want to just accept whatever price they give you. Always negotiate, see what you can do. Like we just talked about, the odds are that first price they hit you with is not, set in stone. It's not, you have to do this or we're doing no shout out. That's not exactly how it works, you guys. I just want you to know that I hope this video really brought you some value, because I know it's something that I haven't been getting too many comments about it, but I've been getting a lot of private DMs on Instagram about it. So I hope that kind of answers that and helps you guys out, because obviously it is big. You don't want to always be shelling out money for influencers when you can shell out less money. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, the free Facebook group, I'm gonna leave that link down below. I think we're well over 1,000 people now, which is awesome to see. There's like 50 to 100 posts going in there every single day. People showing screenshots, sharing results, helping people out, answering and asking questions. It's awesome to see. For all of you who are in there, you already know how good it is. It's been a lot of fun. I love interacting with you guys. But I am planning on doing another YouTube live probably sometime this week, maybe next weekend, hopefully before. I've just been crazy busy with a ton of stuff and recording content for the course. I'm definitely gonna try my best to make time for it, because they are fun. You guys get that one-on-one time. You can ask questions and kind of have some fun and laugh a little bit. It's always entertaining. But that's kind of all I got for you guys this video. I don't want to waste your time, and I hope you don't want to waste mine. So before you exit, hit that nice looking subscribe button, drop a like if you enjoyed, join that Facebook group, and I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Peace.